now the mic is where my mouth is, so that's good. Anyway, welcome to a different part of my room. I don't think by the time I've posted this, you guys probably won't have actually seen any of the rest of my room at home, but you can see this part, so welcome to my house. Not my dorm room, basically. Anyway, this is gonna be more of like podcast episode. It's 9:30 p.m. while I'm filming this, so I'm gonna be talking a little quieter just because, it's late. Anyway, I just kind of just wanted to do a podcast because it's just kind of easier to upload stuff. This probably won't be super long or anything, but it's just easier to upload stuff when I don't have to edit it so much, because I really like to edit my videos a lot. So, that gets a little tough when I'm trying to do 20 different things. And I kind of completely burned out after finals, so that also made it kind of difficult, low-key. It's just, it's a lot to do. But so I thought doing a little podcast type thing would be fun, because I want to do it. And that's the whole reason I started this channel, is so that I did things that I want to do. So anyway, I'm here in my bed, got my microphone, got my iPad, in case I need to do any searching up and any hacking, because I'm oh my god, my eyes are so itchy because of my allergies, and it makes me so I cannot think straight right now just because they are so itchy. So if you see me blinking for extended periods of time, that's me trying to itch my eyes without touching them. And it low-key looks really strange when I do it, because I'll just be outside like this. But it helps me itch my eyes without me actually touching my eyes, because that always makes it worse when I actually end up touching them. Duh, obviously. But anyway, I have my computer here so I can be a freaking Disney Channel hacker and say "we're in" whenever I type anything at all. Also, if I'm stuffed up again, it's because of my allergies, and it low-key really freaking sucks, but we're dealing with it. Anyway, the people in my house are asleep, and it's 9:30. And I'm not saying I wouldn't be asleep at this time, I'm just saying it's a little early, but everybody has to be up pretty early, can't lie, so I guess it's understandable, I guess it's fine. But yeah, okay, let's get started. I literally have 3 things written down for this. This is not super thought out, just because. Oh, and now it's starting to rain. Okay. Anyway, so that's super thought out, but we're just gonna have some fun with it now that I've taken 5 minutes to just ramble on about absolutely nothing. Okay. So the first thing I've written down is just literally just bullshit, so we're gonna skip that. And we're gonna move on to the second thing I have written down. And the second thing I have written down is, the rise in my lips are so dry. Get some ASMR mouth sounds. Sorry. We're gonna have to put trigger warning mouth sounds on this video, because holy balls, that sounds horrific. Do I have my chapstick here, so I'll survive. I low-key just recorded a video, a book review, and the entire book review, my lips look so chapped, and I'm having such a hard time watching the videos because I'm just It's all I can think about. And it might not even actually look that bad. It might just be the clips that I was looking at. But I was like, I can't do this. I look insane and like I'm dying. Anyway, back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. So one thing I wanted to talk about, which this is just something that interests me, I guess, is the rise in... Oh, also, if anyone has good apps for a soundboard, I love to hear it, because I need a soundboard going, because just me talking to myself without any other noise, I just, like, I need reactions. I need reactions to what I'm saying. Anyway, I want to talk about the rise in fantasy books and all of them having the exact same plot line. And oh my god, it took me like 4 times to get that sentence out, to get that full sentence out, but I finally got there. And I wanted to talk about this because I'm finally able to read more now that it's like past, because in college it's like you're reading 100 pages a day of some boring book, and like I don't have the time to connect plotline dots in fantasy books, so I wasn't reading for a while, but now I'm back into it. I'm reading because it's the summer, and I finished a few books so far, but it's just like starting to make me realize that like every fantasy book, and I kind of say this in my review, but every fantasy book has the exact, like it's copy for copy, like the same base plot. Like if you strip away all the extra stuff from literally any of these books, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like nobody cares, but I care, and it's just like there's gonna be one person watching this and gonna be like, why the fuck is she talking? What even is this video about? Because literally, who even cares? Who even is watching this because they actually want to hear about me talk about books having the same plotline? But I want to talk about it, so I low-key don't even care what you think. And also my family might be watching this, so hello family, this is my rant on fantasy books and them having the same plotline, because it just is like, it's getting to the point where I can't pick up any fantasy book and like get something new. And that's like fine, I guess, because that's kind of what that demographic wants, is like you want to be kind of reading the same thing and kind of knowing where this is going, and like, it clearly works. Like, it's working for people. They want this. They want, that same kind of thing. These same tropes that are going on right now are super popular, and they're popular for a reason, and I get that. But it's just becoming like, if you do any sort of deep read into, the book, the fantasy book, and I think obviously specifically I mean like romantasy, if you do any sort of deep read into it, it's just the exact same plotline over and over again. And I guess kind of what I'm going to describe as the plotline is like, girl who is aged 19 to 25, I'd say, is the oldest. That's a whole nother thing. The fact that those characters are so young, it's a whole problem, I think. But like 19 to 25 at the youngest, like starving for whatever reason, but still like super hot and doesn't look malnourished or doesn't seem malnourished at all. Like dejected, rejected from society, like people don't like her, she's angry, she's not like the other girls, she's the only one that's trying to make a living for herself and not just giving up on life. And it kind of starts, they all kind of start that way. And my camera is about to turn off, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay, so yeah, they basically all kind of start that way. Same premise, like malnourished human being, girl, super pretty, whatever, like, somehow looks really good even though she grew up malnourished. And then, you know, enter stage right man with dark hair. Oh, okay, hi, welcome to the party, I guess. Like, we all know you're the love interest, you're 6'10", and I can see your rippling abs through your teeth, you know, like, it's just, anyway, enter stage right, man kidnap girl go, okay, I be kidnapped, whatever, like, I don't really care. She always accepts it, but she could be spiteful about it. She could go, I don't like you, like, I'm gonna throw shoes at your face, I'm gonna be a bitch, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna talk bad, blah, 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 like, I don't want to wear your stupid dresses, but blah, blah, I want pants. That's a whole nother tangent I could go on about how none of these women, like, want to wear dresses, and I think there's something to be said for all of the, like, that they want to get rid of all their femininity, and that's a whole different rant. I could talk about that some other time. But anyway, so that happened. She gets kidnapped somehow, or, you know, she has to do whatever this guy wants her to do, and he's super mean too. They're just, like, fighting each other. Enemies to lovers, like, duh, like, it makes sense, but they're never really truly enemies, if that makes any sense. Like, they're never actually, there's a few where they're, like, on opposing sides, but I feel like you never actually see them be, like, true enemies. Like, you never see it like, oh, this is gonna end in them liking each other. You really only see it as, like, yep, like, this is for sure, like, they are going to get married, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, you never see it as, like, these people are actually enemies, and I don't see them ever getting together. Anyway, that happens. There's a war. For whatever reason, there is a war that's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years, and she has no idea about, or has a very little idea about it, and she has to stop it. Like, single-handedly, it's now her job. She single-handedly stops it, dies in the process, usually dies in the process, or gets near death, and then ends up, the war still is usually going on. There's still some sort of conflict, even after she saves everyone. And then she gets superpowers. She, like, becomes the strongest, like, person we have ever seen. You know, like, she has every single power, or she's, like, this new type of fae or vampire or whatever. Like, it's this like, you know, she's something they've never seen before. Like, she's all powerful. And then obviously enemies to lovers, like, they've either gotten together by then, or they're, like, gonna get together, and they're always, like, fated mates. They're so rare, but they're always fated mates. They're never not, and I mean, that's kind of it. That's the story. And then after that, if there's, like, a sequel, it's usually because there's more conflict, or the war wasn't really over, that was just, like, a small part of it. But mostly that's kind of the basic plotline that these books all follow. And I will say, like, I get it. Like, it's what people want to see, it's what people like. Why would you read about people that aren't actually fated mates, or why would you read about just a regular girl that, like, actually just dies and doesn't become, like, all powerful? Like, that's no fun. Like, duh. And I think, like, I understand it. I am a part of that demographic to a certain extent. Like, I do like these books. Uh-oh, my voice recording went out. Okay, my mic probably went out for a little bit there. I do apologize, but it should be back now. But anyway, I see why people like these books. I understand it. It's just that, like, gonna turn my phone off, low power mode, and off of sleep. I am a part of that demographic. Like, I understand why people like it. Like, that's kind of what you're looking for when you're when you're reading these books. Like, this is what you're looking for. You want this plot line. You want the dark-haired, rippling abs man to come kidnap her, and you want them to yell at each other but know that they're gonna get together. But I just, I want some of those tropes and some of these kind of ideas, but without it following the same plot line over and over and over again, because it's starting to get boring. And I understand that a lot of these books were produced around the same time, and everybody kind of wanted to jump on the same bandwagon, and there's nothing that you can really do about that when everybody kind of releases it at the exact same time. But I just, I hope that the Romantasy books can kind of begin to branch out a little bit, because, I don't want to have to, I don't know, I want books that have similar plots, but not completely, separate. I like some of these aspects. I think, having these war aspects is cool. I think, having her start from a place of hardship and despair and all of that, I think it is I think you can build a lot on that. I just think, it's the same story over and over again, and I'm just kind of hoping that as we move forward with Romantasy books, that people begin to maybe start writing these books that maybe have some of these same tropes, but they're starting to kind of be, expanding on these tropes and expanding on what we can do with this story, because I don't think Romantasy has to be this exact plot line, which I see over and over and over again. And I will say, some of them do branch off. I feel like Fourth Wing doesn't follow this exact plot line, but when you boil it down, it's very, very similar. Okay, the books that I will say that I am talking about right now is, Throne of Glass, Fourth Wing, ACOTAR, Quicksilver, kind of The Stars Are Dying, also kind of Throne of Glass. I mean, some of these I definitely think build on it better than others, but I think especially ACOTAR and Quicksilver, it's very boiled down and very this is the story. So yeah, I think kind of my main point here is if you can kind of see that line of thought, and it's just it's getting too repetitive and it's getting boring. Romantasy is becoming boring because of these repetitive plot lines and these repetitive stories. And I think you definitely can branch out and find other books Curious Tides, Emily Wilde, Children of Blood and Bone was one, but it's just hard because it's even Red Queen and The Cruel Prince, and it's all kind of in the same vein, and it might just be because I've been reading too much Romantasy, so it's all kind of getting boring to me. But I like Cruel Prince and Red Queen. They focus on different aspects. It is kind of different. And Cruel Prince, she doesn't, from what I remember, she doesn't become immortal or some sort of fae or whatever. So it is different. I just think that maybe some of the more recent ones, like Quicksilver, are following kind of these same plot lines, and it's starting to get a little much. And I'm not talking badly about any of these books. All of these books, Cruel Prince is genuinely one of my favorite series. All these books that I'm talking about, I loved reading them. I thought they were wonderful. I thought they were great books. I just think we've had such an influx of Romantasy books with the same plot lines that it is just becoming very overwhelming, because you can pick up 3 books, they'll have the same plot line, and you read them and they're just kind of like, they're fine. They're not doing anything new. And I think a lot of the ones I mentioned, like, they are doing something new with these plots, but a lot of the more recent stuff isn't. And I'm hoping that instead of the recent stuff moving towards these base plot lines, I'm hoping that maybe there's just kind of this blip of following the same plot lines, and then as we move forward, that'll kind of go away and people will realize that stuff like the Cruel Prince or Fourth Wing or Throne of Glass, or Red Queen can kind of, you know, where we're expanding on this plotline and kind of differentiating it, are really what is working and what people want to see. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. That's kind of my thought on the fantasy books. I love Romantasy. I think it's great. I read it all the time. No hate to any of these books or authors. I absolutely love all of them. I love the authors. So yeah, now we are going to move on to our next segment, which should hopefully be should take less time than the fantasy book segment. Okay, we are now on to, whoops. Sorry, I do have to get up every 12 minutes to redo my, my camera, so that's why it clips. But you can also see I have to have a timer on my iPad. Even though I do have it, I can see the camera reflection in my TV, so it's actually been very helpful to make sure that I'm still recording. Even though I can't keep track of my own voice memo or microphone recording. I am hoping to get a better mic at some point, but for now, I'm kind of messing with the phone mic. Anyway, on to the second and last segment of this podcast episode. We are going to talk about how I finally see why people enjoy running. I used to hate running when I was younger. I never wanted to play tag. There's a pimple on my cheek. Never wanted to play tag. I was absolutely mortified if people were going to make me run in PE. I hated running the mile, and I ended up actually running a 7-minute mile when I was a tad younger. I'm not much older now, but I did used to run a 7-minute mile, but I hated running. I mean, oh my god, I refused to play any games that made me run because I was just so scared, because I was a very slow runner, or I was just so nervous that I was going to be so slow that I never wanted to do it. And then when I tried running in high school, just for fitness reasons, I hated it. It felt terrible. Like, it just felt miserable to be running. Like, it wasn't fun. I didn't feel like I was getting anything out of it. And then now I'm currently training for a half marathon with my family, my parents, and I get it now. Well, I understand what we're doing. I feel like it's really helped me to have a goal in mind when running, and this is just such two random things to put together in a podcast episode, but that's what podcasts are for. So yeah, I mean, it's just been so much nicer, running long distances, and for two, having a goal for the runs, because before I never had a goal. It was just I need to run because that's what I feel like I should be doing, and so that's why I hated it so much. But now, having this half marathon to look forward to, I'm oh, this is why running's fun, because now I'm getting better and I'm working through it, and it feels really rewarding to finish that long run and know you're one step closer to your goal of finishing a half marathon or a marathon or whatever. Because I just recently did my first long run this past Saturday. I ran 8 miles with my mom. And I'd never run more than 3 or 4 miles at a time. So I was I'm gonna die. This is gonna suck. And we ran a 13.5-minute mile, which is not, like, for first time half marathon for me, like, it is not bad at all. Like, I'm feeling great about it. I ran almost the entire time. There was a few times that we walked because we were going, like, straight uphill, and we were both like, nah, not today. But so then it was like, and then when we were done, I was like, wow, like, this is why you people do it, because, like, it feels so good to be done with that run and to say, like, yep, I did that. I ran 8 miles. And granted, was I supposed to run today when I'm filming this podcast episode? Yes, I absolutely was supposed to, but it was raining very hard outside, and I'm doing a horse show this week, and I'm gonna give you 10 more excuses about why I didn't. But anyway, I just wanted to say, like, as a segment of this podcast, I understand why people like running. I get it. It's great. And it feels really good. It feels great mentally to run. So I guess kind of what my advice would be if you feel like you want to run but maybe haven't had, like, the chance to, or feel like you can't really get into it, is sign up for, like, a 5K or, you know, a half marathon or whatever the other mileage points are, and just, like, have that goal in mind when you start running, so that you actually feel like you're accomplishing something while you're running, like, you're actually getting somewhere, it's actually doing something for you. But I will still say, like, once you kind of get out there and get used to it, it feels great, because it's hard at the beginning to understand how you're supposed to pace yourself and how you are meant to, how you're supposed to pace yourself and, like, how you're meant to, like, breathe through it and, like, work through it, and how much water you need to be drinking, what you need to be eating when you go. But once you kind of start figuring that out and kind of getting into the flow of things, I will say it becomes, like, so much easier. And it feels so much better, because once you can kind of get in those zones and stop, like, feeling just absolutely miserable when you're running, it feels really great mentally. You can just kind of, like, you kind of get into a nice, like, state. I will say, like, I especially on this recent long run, I didn't ever feel like, oh, I want to stop. It just felt like, oh yeah, like, this is nice, like, I want to keep going and I want to keep pushing, and I want to get to my destination, and kind of having that feeling of, like, almost mental clarity around stuff, just because, like, you're outside, you're moving your body, like, it feels good, okay? Like, I get it. Like, I know I talked so much shit on running when I was younger, and honestly up until recently I've talked a lot of shit on running, so I do apologize if anyone I know from high school is watching this when I said, why the hell do you like running? I get it. I am a slow ass runner, but I still think it is so awesome and so fun, and I definitely plan to, you know, do more races. I obviously haven't done my first one yet, but depending on how that goes, I definitely want to run more. I'd love to do some different stuff, work my way up to a marathon. I don't think I'd ever do an Ironman. I don't like to bike that much, and swimming laps does not sound appealing to me. But it would be fun to say that I'd done an Ironman. I just don't. I'm scared of biking. I'm low-key kind of a bad biker, and I'm low-key kind of scared of it. It's kind of terrifying to me. I ride horses, like, that's my thing. But I definitely want to do more running sort of stuff and kind of having that accomplishment thing. So yes, that is my segment on why I like running and why I think it's, like, fun or whatever. Like, it's cool, I guess, I get it. Like, you know, when everybody was explaining to me, I didn't understand, and now I understand. So yeah, my advice would be to sign up for something, kind of have that goal, and it might help you like it. And if it doesn't, then don't run. You don't have to. That's the other thing, is once I stopped feeling pressured that I like needed to run, which is kind of confusing because now I do need to run because I need to accomplish, you know, a certain amount of miles for a race. But once I stopped kind of feeling like, I guess, societal pressure for needing to run and just kind of wanting to do it out of my own enjoyment and out of my own time to go accomplish something, I felt so much better about it. So that's what I would say on that. But anyway, I think I will leave it there for today because that'll probably get us to about 30 minutes. And it is 10 o'clock now, and I want to stop talking so that nobody in the house has to hear me keep speaking, because I'm low-key probably being a little louder than I think I am, because that's usually how I am. Oh. I keep pressing. Okay, my mic just went out again. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there for today. Again, it's 10 o'clock, and it is time for me to move on to some other things that I need to do. Sorry that my microphone kept going out this episode. Obviously, this is my first kind of podcast type thing. I don't have a name for the podcast. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just wanted to speak on two things. So I hope you guys liked hearing about me talking about the plots in romantasy books and understanding why people like running. I'm hoping to do more of these, maybe once a week, just because they're a little bit easier to film and edit. And I'll probably have them up on Wednesdays, since I usually upload my other videos on Sundays. Sorry for the long hiatus. I burned out after finals. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good morning, evening, night, midday, midnight. Did I already say that? I don't know. 6 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever time it is. I hope you're having a good time of day, and I will see you guys in the next episode or video or whatever is posted next. Bye.